Garkhousing Live presents Casual Conversation from the Digicast. Yeah. Keep smiling, keep shining. No, you can always count on me. For sure. That's what friends are for. For good times and the bad times. I'll be on your side forevermore. That's what friends are for. What up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Casual Conversation. I am your hostess, Sherry's Joy. I am not alone, as always. I have my super awesome, wonderful co-host with me,
DJ Awesome Rob.
Whoop, whoop. And together we make
the Digicast. I thought you were going to say that with me.
Oh, and together we make
the
Digicast.
Yeah.
Yes. Alrighty then. We just got back from a family vacation. Where did you go?
A National Lampoon's family vacation.
Yep, nope, because that's trademarked.
Oh, well, it was a incident-free vacation. Or it was an incident-free drive down.
And up.
And back.
Yep.
But before then, you could have said it was a National Lampoon's
family vacation
preparation thing.
Yep. Been planning this thing since literally January of 2019. Had everything stocked and not packed, but everything in the works, everything good to go since January. And all hell broke loose.
You say stocked and prepped.
There you go. Stocked and prepped. Notebook, everything. And then all hell broke loose 5 days before we left.
Mm-hmm.
Day 1 before we left. I mean, what is it? Day 5 before we left.
Left on a Saturday night. Fever.
Monday, shit started happening. Monday, it was like, oh yeah, we got your car rental, ma'am. And the price is this plus a $250 deposit for the car. All due at the time of pickup. Okay. I reserved this car back in January, and I have been watching prices since then, and they have been dropping. So I got the cheapest price. Nobody said anything, the best price. Nobody said anything about a $250 deposit. This is not in my budget. Like, I did not plan for this money. Even though we had it, I didn't plan for it.
Well,
cancel.
We didn't have it. That was the vacation money.
Well, right. That was our, spending money. Nope, cancel. Well, the backup was always to drive our little accent, so we drove our little accent.
Mm-hmm.
So the backup plan was to drive our accent. That was Monday. Tuesday was like, okay, well, I'm freaked out, so we got to do something about this. We got to get the car checked out, because I don't want to put 2,000 miles on our accent. It's like a precious commodity. It's been doing us justice thus far. It's the bomb car.
Right, because we don't drive it on long drives. We just drive it to
work Virginia and back.
To work and back.
In Virginia and back.
Sometimes Pennsylvania.
And back.
Begrudgingly through D.C., and that's about it.
No more than 3 hours at a time.
Yeah.
So, we got the car checked out on Wednesday from our awesome guy. Our awesome guy.
Couple of awesome guys.
Yeah, that's been taking care of our car since day 3. And they were like, no, everything's good. You're good. You don't need anything. You don't need to do anything. Everything's good to go. You guys keep your maintenance up. Your par. I was like, cool. It's got 100,000 miles on it. Are you sure? Yeah. You're good. Just when you get back, you might want to do
oil change.
Right, because you're going to be doing a 2,000 mile round trip thing. Cool.
We weren't due for oil change. I was like, maybe
we just had one last month.
Yeah, but we were 2,000 miles away from the oil change. I was like,
so now we need one.
We're still not even
So that was Wednesday. We left Saturday night. That was Wednesday morning, 8 a.m. Got us in and out. We were good to go. We go have breakfast at a diner, like a local Baltimore diner, and we do that. And I take Awesome Rob here to work. I spent the day off, working from home, kind of. And, well, no, I had the day off, but I was still kind of working from home because I was checking email. And I go back out of the house at 4 o'clock. Tires flat. Like, literally flat. Like, so flat, I couldn't even drive. So, I burnt my fingers trying to put the air pump thing. We have an air pump thing in our car. I did that, got that, went to him, got the car checked out at a local place that we have also gone to, a mom and pop shop. They was like, ain't no leak in your tire. Your tire's fine. Mm-hmm. What are you talking about? It's fine. Yeah, your tire's good. There's no leak. There's nothing. And they looked for it for an hour. Mm-hmm. And it was like test, multiple people looking for it.
They checked the bead. They checked everything.
Multiple people.
They were like, yeah, so we can't charge you for this because there's nothing wrong. We literally didn't do anything.
And he was like, I want to take your money, but we can't. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, we're going to Tampa. And he was like, oh, you're going to Tampa? Okay. You need to have oil. You need to have water. You need to have ice. You need to have sandwiches. You need to have gas. You need to have this and a spare. And we were like, I'm like freaking out. We need a spare tire. Oh my God.
Like, hey, we can't fit all that.
And then he was like, guaranteed you're going to be in the car for 20 hours. Guaranteed. Nope. It took us 14 hours to get down there with 3 stops. So anyways, so we give him a tip.
He said 15.
No, he said 20 hours tops for our first drive. Yes.
Okay.
So we gave him a tip. Took care of that. It was all good. And that was Wednesday. Thursday, everything is fine. Thursday,
tire's still fine.
Tire's fine. Everything's fine. We're good to go. I'm like stressing out because I'm just like, I need all these plans to be perfect. My boss was like, Sherry, nothing's perfect. Nothing's going to be perfect. Just relax. Enjoy your vacation. Everything's fine. You're good. The car's good. Everything's fine. I said, okay, cool. Friday, still, I'm on edge because we leave tomorrow, and I'm just like, all right, we got to go to the store. We got to get this, and this. We got to pack. We got to do laundry. We got to get everything packed up. Everything's good. We got to get the oldest, and then we're gonna be fine. So we go to the oldest house, oldest daughter's house.
Also, I called a couple places to order a tire because nobody has our tire for whatever reason.
Oh yeah,
one of them was common cars, and then we turned out we didn't need it.
Right, we didn't need it. Yeah, we didn't need it.
So that was
back on Wednesday.
Yeah,
so now we're on Friday.
I called them, and then they didn't. We turned out they ordered the tires, didn't need them.
So Thursday, I'm like stressing out because I got deadlines of reports that are due. I'm about to go on vacation with 2 other people, and we got these reports due to these school districts. And it's like, oh man, crunch time at work. So I'm like this. Then crunch time at home for the vacation because everything's got to go according to plan. Boss is like, it's fine. Everything is going to be okay. Nothing is perfect. Just calm down. Just relax. It's going to be great. It's like, okay. So Friday morning, turn in 2 reports. Yes. We go to the grocery store Friday evening, go to the grocery store, pick up the rest of what we need. Yes. Get home. What's that noise? What is that noise? Tire's flat. Mm-hmm. Again, with a big ass nail in it, and it's like leaking acid from the tire all onto the ground. What? Are you kidding me? Yeah. Are you kidding? Like, there's different tire at that. This is the front passenger side now. Leaking, bubbly, acidy stuff all on the ground, blue. Fine. See, maybe we should just cancel our vacation. No, we're going to be fine. We ordered a tire that we didn't need. Now we need it. So we get up Saturday morning. Luckily, we get up Saturday morning. The first thing we do is we go to our tire dude. And he's like, oh man, that's a huge nail. Charges us $100. Boom. There you go. So, now I'm like, well, is this safe? Because we had 1 tire, but what about that back tire? It's like still in question. We're fine. We get on the road, and every nook and cranny I hit past Virginia, I was like, Oh, man. Whew. So I started off the drive. We left at midnight. I drove until 6 a.m. I couldn't take it anymore. I was like literally like not weaving, but I was drifting and my eyes were falling asleep. I drove through like the rain and fog in North Carolina. It was bad. It was so bad that I had to stay behind like a big, huge like rig because it was lighting the way. Like 95 in the south is awful because it's 2 lanes in the woods and it's very hard to see.
And then we got down to Tampa. Yeah,
at exactly the exact time that the GPS said.
Yeah. What was it? 2, 3 fill-ups?
It was...
1 real sketchy fill-up?
Well, we filled up when we left, right? But we weren't on empty. I think we were half a tank. So we filled up when we left. Mm-hmm. Then we filled up... We didn't have to fill up again until the sketchy in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Where we were in the middle of, like, nowhere, North Carolina.
Well, it was sketchy on one side of 95. It was like, go left or right to the gas station. I was like, I'll go left
I'm going to go
to
left.
the BP. And it was the sketchiest BP.
Well, more what are you doing down here in the south type of thing. But no one was around.
Yeah, nobody said that.
It was so horrible. There was like spiders.
Yeah, there was like 18 spiders on the gas pump. I was like, okay, I'm not going to touch anything but the gas pump.
And then you looked up, it was like a spider ball nest thing.
Yeah, it was like the spider teaching the other spiders how to make all the webs. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, we came down. Where did we fill up after?
Buford and Nim's place. So that was right outside of Cumberland County, which was Fayetteville,
North Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I still drove. Or did you take over at that point?
I think I was driving at that point.
No, yeah, it was like whatever it was 6 a.m. where I couldn't take it anymore. Yeah. So maybe we did switch. But I don't remember getting out of the car then. I think we got out of the car after I stopped to go to the bathroom.
I think that's when we switched.
And that was right outside of South Carolina. And we didn't buy gas. We just went to the bathroom because the kids had to go to the bathroom and we got breakfast.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
At the place
right.
that took forever.
Right.
But so then we did that. That was, what was it, 2, maybe 3 fill-ups, I guess. When we got
it was like 2.5. Because we started off with half a tank. We put it on F when we left here. Then we filled up completely, we were on 50 miles, so we filled up completely at the sketchy North Carolina. And then we filled up one more time it was in Georgia, right outside of Florida. Mm-hmm. And then we didn't have to get gas again until we were getting ready to leave.
Yeah. We didn't need gas when we went past south of the border.
We went past south. Oh my gosh, I finally got to see south of the border. I've heard all about it. Mm-hmm. And I finally got to see it. And it was like 6:30 in the morning, raining.
Yeah, it was like dead. Raining.
It wasn't even open. Like you couldn't even go there if you wanted to.
Dark and raining on the way back.
Yep.
I mean, not that we haven't stopped there when it was closed before. Definitely done that when it was like way early in the morning.
Well, that's you and your family as a kid. That wasn't me. I had never been driven. I had never drove anywhere south of Charlotte, North Carolina. And I didn't even realize that we weren't going to go anywhere near Charlotte. We didn't go anywhere near Charlotte. We kept it to the coast. Yeah. We went to Fayetteville and then to Savannah.
Right. So all the racist billboards are kind of gone. All the crazy billboards are gone. There was like the one with the sausage on it and the one with the car on it, and I think that was it.
I think the most racist billboards we saw were the south of the border ones. It was like the Mexican.
No, I mean specific south of the border racist ones.
And
they were mild. Well, would you say mildly racist?
Yeah, they were a little La Cucaracha-ish.
I think that's like their thing. They've changed how Pedro looks.
South of the border. His name's Pedro. Mm-hmm. Wow. So, anyways,
but no, coming back, there was a Boss Hog radio station. It was like, I think it might have been AM, and he was like, it was Boss Hog radio, no rap and no crap. I'm like, well, that's
wow. Well,
that's
what's the crap?
Liberal media.
So anyway, on the way down, so we get past south of the border. we get to Georgia, and I see, like, signs of everything. And then we finally cross over to Florida. Oh, man, here's the palm. Well, actually, the palm trees got to on the highway once we got to, like, Savannah. But we crossed over to Georgia. I mean, we
got into South Carolina. We saw palm trees. No? I think it was like after south of the border. I was asleep. So I really started noticing palm trees when we got to, like, Savannah. Yeah. Because I think that's when I woke up. Because you're like, oh man, you missed the bridge of Charleston and all this other stuff. Savannah's a big deal, apparently.
Yeah. I used to want to go because I wanted to go to Paula Deen's restaurant. Not anymore. Anyway, so.
And we got in Georgia, and their sign has a Georgia peach on it from The Walking Dead and all those other TV shows.
Oh, yeah. And you got really excited about that. I was like, but we're not going anywhere near Atlanta. I didn't realize that Atlanta was the top of Georgia. Like, that's weird. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Also, when I think of Atlanta, I think of Atlanta. I don't think of Atlanta being in Georgia. Because people ain't like, I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. They like, I'm from Atlanta. So you get used to hearing ATL, and it's almost like ATL is like its own state, but it's not. It's in Georgia. So anyway.
Yeah, but it's like a big enough city that everybody goes there. That they don't
right, and it's almost like a whole state of its own, but it's not. It's a city. Is it even the capital? No.
Doubt it.
It's not. So anyways, where is it?
Well, it's like Baltimore's not the capital of Maryland.
Is Savannah the capital of Georgia? Right. Baltimore is not the capital of Maryland. So anyways, so we cross over into Florida. Then I started seeing all these fresh orange juice, fresh squeezed orange juice, fresh juice, orange juice, fresh mangoes, fresh citrus fruit, fresh awesomeness. Baby gators, baby live gators this way, baby live gators here. Then all the Disney stuff. Say, don't be dizzy, save your money going to Disney or whatever. And I was like, wow, we're in Florida. And then you see like all of these like swamp areas. I'm like, I bet you there's gators in there, man. And then like all these billboards.
Definitely gators in there. And there was a bunch of bridges over a bunch of grass. Snakes. And you're like, I don't think that's just grass.
It's like, let's not break down around here because, you know, several reasons. You just don't want to. And then it was like, oh yeah. And then also, sorry, I'm going to back a bit. At 6 a.m., I was hungry, you know, when we was getting breakfast. I was like, we should go to Hardee's. Because I kept seeing all these Hardee's. I want Hardee's. Let's go to Hardee's. Let's do Hardee's. Hardee's biscuits. Let's go. Hardee's. Went to McDonald's. So anyways, back to the story. So we get, nope, it was gross breakfast. Hardee's would have been much better, but also much more expensive. We went to Hardee's and it was not breakfast. We went to Hardee's on the way back, and that was like at 10 p.m. Anyway, so anyways,
you almost threw up.
Yes,
That's
I
how
did.
Bad it was.
Because it was beef. It was gross.
They would have had beef breakfast.
It was no. I get the sausage. I mean the bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit. Anyways, and then also
they do.
I don't eat beef. Okay. So anyways,
beef.
Okay, well then you tell the story.
You know.
But my burger was shaped like a star, and I do miss that. But I don't eat beef anymore, so you tell the story.
Oh yeah, so then we got to Florida to our destination, and it was great. We went to the hotel, and wait.
So we got to the Daytona Beach area, and I was like, oh my gosh! Look at the clouds and the sky. It was beautiful and blue and bubbly and bright and cheery, like Rad Racers, a game, and like what you see on like the NASCAR thing for the Daytona 500. It was so gorgeous. And we saw like 50 million Teslas.
No, we didn't.
And we saw no Teslas. We saw some Maseratis.
Yeah.
And it was just so beautiful. And then we get to Tampa.
Yeah, the thing with that, like, we see Teslas every day up here in Maryland. There was like
football players.
5 the whole trip. Yeah, definitely, like, maybe one football player. That
we
guy
see Teslas like every day, and you're like, look at the Tesla. Look at that Tesla.
Cool.
It's like, okay, there's just like the norm here, okay?
And I'm like, ooh, Nissan Leaf, whatever.
You're like, look at that Kuma.
Oh, the Kona?
We like Kona? Chevy Volt.
Saw two of those today.
Okay, great. Mm-hmm. So anyway, then we get to Tampa, and it is the exact time that GPS said. We got to Tampa at 3:26 p.m. When we left the house at midnight, the damn GPS said we was going to get there at 3:25 p.m. Took a minute longer. Yes, with 3 stops. So anyway, we get there, check into the hotel, and the lady was so nice and so awesome and so helpful.
Shout out
to AJ. And she was like giving us all of the 411 on how to save money on the parks and on, the tourist attractions. And she was like, you're rewards members. Oh man, let me tell you how to utilize your benefits and get more points for your stay and your food and everything. And it was just wonderful. It was just such a great check-in experience. They were talking, everybody was talking to the girls. We were all engaged. And then she gave us like the biggest suite because there were like 2 available. One was the biggest one and the other one was like on the 3rd floor. She was like, the elevator's broken. So if you want, I can give you this suite on here. Yeah. The elevator was broken the whole time we were there. We were there for 5 nights. If you want, we can give you this suite. It's on this floor. It's the biggest suite, but it's in the corner. I don't know if you want to be in the corner, but it is the biggest. I was like, I don't care. Like, at this point, I just wanted to go to the bathroom and take a shower. like the corner, it's fine.
The corner was next to
the stairwell.
Which was next to the door.
Which was next to the car. So it worked out beautifully. And it didn't matter that the elevator was broken because the front of the hotel was still on the same floor as the 2nd floor, so we didn't have to worry about struggling with our luggage. Like, we got the little dolly thing that they have at hotels, and we didn't have to worry about going up steps with it. We just was on the right floor. So we did that, and then we went to have dinner, and we met, like, the bartender and the waitress who took care of us all week, and they were phenomenally awesome. Shout out to Lizzie and Rocky and Mo. And the cook. Never got the cook's name. But the cook looked out for the girls. Because they had, because of their age, they got to eat on the kids menu. And the cook was like, well, are they like little kids, like toddlers, or are they big kids? And then Lizzie was like, they're big kids. Oh, okay. So he hooked them up with like a big kid's portion that they would eat instead of like 2 chicken fingers. He gave them like 5. Because, you go to McDonald's, you get, like, a kid's menu, you get, like, 6 or whatever like that. But he still had to, Anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter. So they were so awesome and looking out for us. And I got my daiquiri. And it was such a wonderful, wonderful experience.
Yeah, what's that thing you say? You say tip your bartenders, folks, because they deserve it. Like, Rocky was hooking us up. She was great.
She was really taking care of us. And Lizzie took care of me the first night all nights. But the first night with my daiquiri, she was like, I know you really wanted a daiquiri. Are you okay with that? Do you need a floater on that? I was like, sure. So they gave me a floater, and it was wonderful. And you had a Long Island iced tea, I think. And it was great. The girls had their dinner. And then, we were really tired. So we went back to the room. And we crashed, fell asleep because we had to get up early in the morning to go to Busch Gardens.
Yeah.
But after Busch Gardens, when we went back to see them, they remembered us. Rocky was like, daiquiri in Long Island, right? And we were like, nah, what else you got? She was like, do you trust me? We were like, yeah. So she gave us some stuff called holy water, and it was really, 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 really good. Like, she made it to our liking. I told her that I don't like the sweet. He likes the sweet, I like the bitter. And she made it to our taste buds, and it was great, and we just had a ball. Like, they were talking to us about, like, Tampa life and just the stuff that they hear and the people that they meet, and we were talking to them about, like, our experience and, like, Virginia life and Maryland life and just everything and people in general. Like, we really bonded as far as, like, customer and bartender / waitress or whatever like that, but they're people, you know what I mean? And then we found out
we ended up looking for them every time we came
Yeah, we
down.
did. We did. Because
really cool.
we knew they were there. And then also we found out, like, one day it was, like, Lizzie's birthday.
Oh, yeah.
And we went out and we found a Walmart. Apparently it wasn't the Walmart we really needed to go to or would have wanted to go to, but we don't know any better.
Right.
So,
it turns out kind of better than the Walmarts we got up here.
Yeah.
It was like, this is a lot of
We were
stuff
like, this
happening.
Walmart is great. And then when we went, we bought cupcakes for them or for Lizzie or whatever, and
could do a whole half hour on the Walmart if we wanted to.
We were in and out of Walmart, and everybody was still really nice. Everybody was still really nice, and it was no problem. We even got a front row seat, and there was palm trees to look at. So when we got back to the hotel, we went down to see Lizzie to give her the cupcakes and sing happy birthday and everything. And they were like, "Where'd you go for this? This is so nice. Oh my God, I appreciate you so much." And we were like, we went to the hottest place. It was such a great experience. We went to Walmart. She was like, "Wait a minute, which one?" And we told her which one. She was like, I won't even go there.
They were like,
and then she was like, people get robbed, people get shot, people get this, that, and the fifth. I'm like, oh my God. And we went there. And it was like, what we didn't know. And we had such a great experience there. It was like, I was like, really? Like, we had such a wonderful experience there. We were in and out, which we're not used to. We got a front row seat, which we're not used to. We even got to look at some palm trees. We ain't even used to that. But, hey, it worked. So we didn't know any better. We're on vacation. That's fine. So anyway, so we celebrated her birthday, and then Mo was like, "Oh man, tomorrow's Wednesday. You got to come down to the Caribbean karaoke. You get in for free between this hour and that hour, and you get free drinks between that hour and that hour. It's gonna be great." And then after that, all meals like jerk chicken and all that Caribbean food that I love, it's $5 a dish. I was like, heck yeah, we doing that. Didn't get to do that because we met up with some family. My cousin, who I haven't seen since we were like 8 years old. Well, I was 8. She was probably 5.
Is she going to listen to this?
No. And so, I don't know.
We're putting it up on Facebook, though.
And so, it was a really good experience, and we met with her, and it was a wonderful bonding, and I'm so glad that we did it. We could do karaoke and eat Caribbean food, like, anytime we're going back to Tampa, it's fine. But the fact that Mo
knows what happened.
Mo hooked us up, and Mo was awesome with, like, looking out for us.
Y'all asked
and
Mo
was, like,
what happened.
Telling us, hooking us up with the hot spots and, like, just being really cool. And it was so cool. It was so great. Like, everybody was so amazing. And then the next day,
Mo drove me and Dayla to the park.
You went back to Busch Gardens. We didn't talk about Busch Gardens. Before we talk about Busch Gardens, though, really quickly, cool. The pool was nice. I got to sit out by the pool. I got darkened at the pool. I went in the pool. It was great. Awesome Rob here, he got to be a cool dad, and he was like looking out for all the teenagers that wanted to flip and stuff. He was tossing them the GoPro baton while they flipped in the pools and was helping them out of the pool. And he like bonded with all of the kids at the pool. He was the cool dude out there, and that was awesome. And so so Busch Gardens Tampa has some really great deals. I don't know if they do this all year round. I don't know what up with it. I've never heard of it. But we bought the all-day dining deal, which for pass members, I think it's $39.99 for adults if you're not a pass member. As a pass member, we only paid $35, but you get to eat a full meal every hour and a half, which includes one drink, either a fountain drink or like a bottled water, one entree, one entree, and then you either get a side or a dessert, every 90 minutes. Also, the snacks and the beer and wine is buy one, get one free anytime.
Yeah, that they don't really tell you about.
They don't, I didn't know that until we read, like, the disclaimer on the list that they gave us. So any kiosk that we went to, so, like your popcorn, your ice cream, Dippin' Dots even, pretzels, churros, all of those places, if you buy one, you get the other one free. And it doesn't have to be every hour and a half. It could be every 2 minutes if you want. It's buy one, get one free. Also, the beers and the wines are buy one, get one free. And
also, the beer fest thing was like one free beer a day.
Yeah, so Beer Fest is down there because school is already in session. They closed early, like they closed at 6 p.m. And also Beer Fest down there was only Saturday and Sunday because school's in session and, so they have to, work around that.
And SeaWorld too.
No. So,
we got the free beer
okay, we're talking about Tampa.
I know.
So Beer Fest at Busch Gardens, we did not get a free beer. That was SeaWorld that we got the free beer.
Right, I know.
So Busch Gardens, Tampa, we had the great deal, the buy one, get one, and the all-day dining. Wonderful. SeaWorld has all-day dining, same price, but instead of every hour and a half, it's every hour. So it's every 60 minutes. But they did not have the buy one, get one on the snacks and beer and wine. But they did have the one free 14-ounce beer per guest or pass member.
But they didn't check our things.
I know, but it said per pass member, but they didn't check it. But if you're with somebody or if there's somebody who doesn't drink beer, they were doing free lemonade instead.
Yeah, that's why I don't think it's a pass member thing. I think it's a park thing.
It was like the park thing?
Yeah.
It might have been.
And it might just be because it's like, it's Beer Fest season.
Could
or
be.
Maybe,
but we were in Orlando.
Right.
SeaWorld closes early.
Mo said that they were doing free beer at Busch Gardens, too. I just never found the place.
Maybe we didn't see it. Yeah, I didn't see it. SeaWorld was so nostalgic and awesome. Like, I literally cried while we were watching the Shamu show, the whale show. I teared up. What?
This cool background.
I did get hurt at SeaWorld. And I wasn't happy.
Right. Shout out SeaWorld HR.
Right. Guest relations.
Yeah, they ain't said nothing about it.
Yeah. So after the first thing we did was we made a beeline for the whale show at the Shamu Stadium. Because I really wanted to see the shows. Also at SeaWorld there really aren't any rides. There's like 3 or 4 roller coasters. And that's kind of like it. The rest of them are like animal related. So anyway, we go to the show's out. It's a big, huge stadium. People are zombie walking out of the stadium, making a beeline for the first thing they see. First thing you see right in front of you is a ride attraction, which is like an animal / simulator thing. So I get in line for that, and then, first of all, the lines at SeaWorld are very complicated because they use the chain lines. So when you
can't see where you're going.
Right, when you got chain against chain, you can't really see the maze. It's really hard to see it versus like the ropes or that stretchy thing, the black stretchy thing, like a seatbelt. The chains are really hard to see, especially in the bright sun and especially in crowds. It was so crowded in Orlando. Like, first of all, let's talk about the difference. In Tampa, it was very hot, but it was muggy. Orlando, it was very hot, but it was, like, hot. Tampa was not crowded at all, but we also went to the park on a Monday. Orlando, completely crowded because it was Orlando. And that was a Tuesday, so it was completely crowded. So, okay, so I go for this line. And I don't really know the difference. And also what we're used to with the parks, like Busch Gardens, especially Williamsburg, because that's the only park we really know in Water Country, is there's always like a ride attendant or some cast member, excuse me, at the beginning of the line to kind of direct you, especially if it's complicated. There was nobody there. There were multiple lines for different reasons. Some lines had strollers only. Some lines had if you want to walk through. Some lines were like if you want to walk through or do you want to ride. Then some lines were like quick pass only. It was really weird and complicated. So I go in the line for the ride. We were like, what's this? Rob's like, well, I don't know, but I haven't heard anything about it. I heard it's lame or something. Or I don't know anything about it. We haven't seen anybody do anything about it. I was like, well, let's try it out. So he was like, okay. So I go in the line. He was like, hun, you're going through whichever line is wrong. I can't remember why. So I was like, oh, man. And I wasn't really all the way in the line. I had just walked maybe 5 feet in. So this one dude, like, I'm getting out of the line, but people are bum rushing in. So this one dude hits me, like, in the shoulder from the left. And then this other lady, like, hits me in the other shoulder from the right. And she's got a stroller. One of them, I don't know which one was on what side, But one of them hit me so hard that I knocked into the queue line sign, and I hit the sign so hard that a piece of the sign came off. But it was like the bottom piece that, I don't know, it said 100 on it. I don't know why it said 100.
It was a magnet for the wait time.
Oh, the wait time thing. And I don't know, but I hit it so hard that it knocked off, and it hit, like the corner of it hit in my head, and it bounced off and fell on the ground. And all I heard was the lady with the stroller say, "Ooh, are you okay?" And I wasn't. I couldn't see. I was so hurt. I was bewildered. I was pissed. I was everything in the world. And I was like, I gotta get out of here. And then I started crying because the pain was so bad. I was crying. You were looking for like first aid on the map or somewhere. And then we were like looking for cast member help. Couldn't find anything. Couldn't find anyone. There was no guest relations. And then we were like, we gotta get some ice or whatever. I was like, I'm fine. And then you were like, let's sit down. And as we were sitting down, we were looking for help. We sat down in the Sesame Street area. Couldn't find any help. Couldn't find anything. So I sat there for like, I don't know, did we sit for 5 to 10 minutes? Mm-hmm. Enough for me to gain my composure. And I guess at that point it was so hot, like I kind of forgot about the pain once I sat down and gained some composure. And then, we walked a little bit and I was okay until that night when I was trying to sleep. It's really bad. So I have a dent in my head and a bump in my head, and I also have a scab. It's small, nothing alarming or anything like that, but we never did find any help. And here's why we didn't find first aid. First aid on the map is not red, it's green, and there's only one. And it was in the Sesame Street area, but up in the woods area, so you're not really looking on the corners of places. You're kind of looking in obvious places, and you're kind of looking for red, because red is the universal symbol for first aid, not green. So whatever. So that's my story. So go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So the next day we went to... What?
What about the dolphin show?
Right, so we got our free beer at SeaWorld, and then, we kind of rode stuff, we ate stuff. Well, we didn't ride anything. Him and the oldest child, I can't remember her name, Sunset Puffs, rode stuff. Zebra Puffs and I, we all got separated. Zebra Puffs and I got separated because there was a thunderstorm, and while you were in line with the other child for...
Manta?
Nope. Journey to Atlantis. You were in line for a water ride when the storm was coming.
Oh,
yeah, and they shut down the ride while you were in the line.
Right, they shut it down, open it up, shut it down again, open it up. Oh, man.
So Zebra Puffs and I, we were like, you sent us to the Manatee show, which wasn't a show. It was just basically this guy talking about the manatees. It was boring. And then you feel
Did
really...
you see the manatees?
Yes. You feel really bad for the manatees because it was a rescue. It was a nursing station or whatever. So it was a rehab center. Yeah. So you saw... Oh my gosh.
Did you see the giant turtle?
Yeah, no. They were so messed up. It was so sad. It was so sad. Like, one of them had, like, a big, huge, like 3 gashes in its side. It was pretty bad. So, it was also boring. The guy was talking was boring. So, Zebra Puffs was like, Mom, there's a dolphin show. Let's go see that. And I was like, we can't. We gotta wait for them. And she was like, please. So, we go in there, and I was like, when they let people in, I was like, will you go find us some seats and sit in the dead center at the front? And she was like, oh, okay. And I said, I'll wait here for Mr. Rob. So I waited for 45 minutes. The stadium was completely filling up. I didn't feel like waiting anymore. The show was starting in 10 minutes. I went in. So we went in and we watched the show, and I was like, well, I guess the park will make an announcement. Sherry R. come to the guest relations, which is located nowhere in the park. But anyway, so we watched the dolphin show, and it was so fun. It was so fun and so cute and so wonderful and great. So awesome. So awesome. And then finally we caught up with you because you got to the dolphin show at the end. So she saw you before I saw you. She was like, they're over there. I saw them walk in. When you walked in, I was like, oh, okay, cool. Good eye.
Yeah, so we stood around at the manatee place for a while, trying to wait for y'all after they closed the ride for the third time while we were in line. And, yeah, so we didn't get to ride the Journey to Atlantis ride. We rode Kraken while y'all were waiting for us. That was cool. Yeah. It was like a floorless roller coaster. They have more rides. They got a
oh, well, we saw the penguins. We did the Arctic thing.
Yeah, they have penguin ride number 1. Okay. So you go... It's like a lame simulator. And then it's like, oh man, here's a video. And then turn around. Guess what? It's cold in here. Here's like, some penguins.
Oh, and no, it smelled before you got cold.
Yeah, it was like, what's that smell?
Wait, what is that smell?
Is that part of the ride? Nope. Here's a penguin.
It's real birds.
It turns. It's like, oh, look at these penguin animatronics.
It smelled like fish, though. I don't know. It was
and
gross.
It was not animatronics.
No, they were real, and there was a lot of them. And then it got cold as hell. So you come out of like the 98-degree Orlando sun weather, and you're in like the sub-zero Arctic. And you're like, okay, well, hope don't catch pneumonia, because then you go back out to the 98-degree weather, and it's crazy. So yeah, so we saw penguins, and we saw flamingos. So between the parks, we saw dolphins. We saw killer whale, whatever.
They're killer whales.
Yeah, we saw manatees. We saw giraffes. We saw impalas.
That's all Busch Gardens.
I know. I said between the two parks. Okay. We saw elephants, hyenas, alligators or crocodile, whatever. Lions, tigers, bears. Oh my, no bears. We saw geckos like everywhere. That was all in the wild, and the hotel parking lot, and the hotel pool area, everywhere. We saw so many animals. So we basically went to a zoo. So Tampa Busch Gardens is basically your zoo, and then SeaWorld is your aquarium.
And then we went to the aquarium.
And then we went to the Florida aquarium. And I didn't look. They saw a python, and then they saw like Florida snakes. I
didn't see the Florida snakes.
You didn't see the ones that were 3? Mm-mm. Oh, so when that kid said, that's a big snake, he was talking about the python?
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, so
But it wasn't behind glass, so how does it stop it from coming out?
It was behind glass.
It was enclosed?
Yeah.
Oh. I didn't want to look. What?
I think that gnat's on your book. I don't know what's up, but there's a gnat that's just hanging around in the house.
Yeah. Now we're talking about pythons, though, so you can't be doing that.
So the aquarium, they have like what was it? What was the area?
It was the wetlands.
Yeah, the wetlands.
The wetlands was the first thing. It was like outside.
It was like the foreplay before the aquarium.
Yeah, it was stuff. Like out. It was indoors, but it was outside.
Yeah,
there was like no roof.
It was like the second floor.
Yeah. So, oh my gosh, the first thing you see is like this otter getting buff. Right? He was like swimming forward and then backstroking back, and then swimming. He was doing like laps, like serious laps, like back and forth. Man, he was so cute. It was so awesome.
And then there was some ducks. And there were turtles.
And I didn't give a shit about the ducks. But yeah, there were turtles.
But I mean, like, they were ducks and they were
birds.
Yeah, they like the what was it, the tank? It was a glass tank on the front.
But they were like they were free
right there. You
to roam.
Reached over the thing and touched them if you wanted to.
There were all kinds of birds flying everywhere. Like we kept seeing like these white stork looking things everywhere in Florida.
They were like, "This is my habitat, but I'm over here."
And they were everywhere. Actually, when we saw them at Busch Gardens had a sign that said, "This is the mating season, or this is the season for these birds. Pardon our mess." Yeah. Or whatever. So you had to like watch out for every tree you were under, because they were all under trees and they were pooping everywhere. So at the aquarium, they were all in there. The ducks were in there. The ducks were free to go wherever they wanted. Like they could just walk on your feet if they wanted to, because they weren't enclosed anywhere. And they actually, I don't think their wings were clipped, were they? No, they didn't have like the little plastic clip thing on them. They were free to go in this habitat that they created for them.
Yeah, the sign said don't feed the ducks. I was like,
did.
okay.
It did. And there was duck poop, too. There was poop everywhere. Like, all kinds of poop. Like, bird poop, duck poop, whatever poop. Right. So anyway,
then you walk up the walkway, and then there's, like, a snake habitat. Like, I
made a beeline past that. Because it's Florida. It's Florida, and I guess Florida has pythons? It was all animals native to Florida.
Yeah.
So, right. So, there was that. And then there were the other snakes that you said you didn't see. But I saw the sign for them. Joyce said she saw the sign for them, too. And I said, I see the sign for them. I ain't looking in it. So I made a beeline to get the hell out of the wetlands area. I needed to just get out of there. It was, like, dangerous. And then we finally get to, like, the ocean-y stuff, which was really, really cool. We saw lionfish. We saw sharks. We saw those big, big, huge fish with, like, the face. We saw Nemos. We saw Dories. Actually, there was, like, a pillar in the middle of the floor, and it was, like, all the fish that were in Finding Nemo were in that one pillar, because it was, like, the clownfish, and then it was, like, the Dory fish, and then it was, like, the blue fish thing. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, they were all in there, and we saw a whole bunch of different kinds of, like, jellyfish.
Yeah. They had a whole jellyfish.
It was, like, really weird. I'd never seen some of those kinds before.
They got upside-down jellyfish?
Yeah, that was like, on the bottom, yeah. Then we did come to an area where it was, like, the petting area or whatever, where you could pet, like, some starfish or whatever they called it. They were like, it's not a starfish, it's a vest.
Oh, yeah, the anemones. Where is that?
Right, and then it was like the flower looking fish thing. Mm-hmm. I touched everything in there. I didn't want to at first, but I did. I definitely did not touch the stingrays. I didn't want to do that. But you could touch some stingrays.
Yeah, I touched the stingray. It felt like jelly. I was like, that's different than what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I definitely didn't want to touch them. Actually, at SeaWorld, you could feed them too. Yeah. Oh wait, could you feed them at the aquarium? Mm-mm. No, that was at SeaWorld. SeaWorld you could feed them, and it was like telling you how to feed them. Yeah. They feed from, their mouths are on the bottom, so you had to like really put your hand in there and feed them the fish and everything.
But they were also going in a circle around the big tank, and they're looking up at kids with their hands in the water waiting for the food to get dropped.
So it was like they were used to it, so they know what to expect. But a couple of things that I thought were really, really cool about, like, I've only been to 3 different aquariums. Of course, the Boston Aquarium, and then I went to the Virginia Aquarium, which is way smaller than the Boston Aquarium, and then the Florida Aquarium. And then there's something really different about the Florida Aquarium that I hadn't seen before. And there were there were either 2 or 3 rooms where it was like not a stadium, but like a small movie theater type of thing, where there were benches on the thing where you could just sit and look at the wall from ceiling to floor.
Oh yeah,
from wall to wall. Yeah. It was just a tank, and
from ceiling to floor, it was a tank.
Right, from ceiling to floor and wall to wall, it was a tank, and it was beautiful. There were like big, huge rocks in it. There was coral in it. There was all kinds of fish. There was a giant turtle. Sharks, giant turtle. It was everything in there. It was so awesome. I could have sat there for like a long time. Then when you leave that room, you go through like this, you go to the next room, and the rooms are connected by like a mist that's coming down, and then that's when you see all the electrical stuff, like your eels and your jellyfish and all of that. And then once you come to the end to that, there is another cove area where wall-to-wall, ceiling-to-ceiling tank, and it's actually connected to the tank in that first room that you see. So that was really, really amazing, and I hadn't seen anything like that. Like I'm saying, like, the Boston Aquarium is phenomenal, too, because it's like a wraparound, and you're going up the ramp, and as you're going up the ramp, you're looking at the different levels of sea life, and then when you get to the top, you can see, like, the divers diving in and all that other stuff, so that's really cool. But to, like, actually see a wall-to-wall of just a tank, and you can sit there for as long as you want and enjoy the view, so relaxing to me. So, yeah, that was like so much fun. So then Thursday we had like a pool day.
Wait. You want to call this section 2 and be done?
Sure. I mean, we only got one more day to talk about.
We got a lot more to talk about.
Okay. All right. Well, that's it for me for now.
Alrighty, folks. We'll call this Tampa Part 2.
No, this is Tampa Part 1.
No, it's not. We recorded a Part 1 already.
Tampa Part 2.
I don't think we both remember what happened in Tampa Part 1, but Tampa Part 1 got recorded and posted.
Were we recording it in Tampa?
Yeah.
Well, that's fine.
Mm-hmm. So this is Tampa Part 2. We're back. We're sober, and it's great. So yeah, check us out on the digicast.com. I guess I should probably rename that the Tampa Part 1 on YouTube, but youtube.com /BigRob029, all one word. The first video's up, so you can see a little bit of Busch Gardens, a little bit of SeaWorld, a little bit of
the aquarium.
Yeah, the aquarium. Yeah, I don't think I put any hotel stuff in there. Save some of that. Some of the nightlife. Save some of that. So that'll be in the next video. So there might be probably 2 or 3 videos to come out of this.
It was our first big family vacation.
Yeah, so there was a lot of footage.
It was a lot, and it was really fun.
Shout
out to Lizzie and Rocco and Mo and Alice.
Yep.
And AJ.
Yep, definitely.
And everyone else.
Yep. You can read our review on TripAdvisor. I think we're the Digicast. I think there's a review for the restaurant and for the hotel.
Mm-hmm. I wrote up a really good review for the hotel in general.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's good times on the Digicast front. We're actually on that YouTube channel. There's a Digicast road trip thing. You can go through all of our past excursions and all that fun stuff.
Most of them are Virginia, but they are very fun.
Mm-hmm. You know, there's one we went on a cruise. There was one we went to Virginia. Water Country, you did Water Country.
That's Virginia.
Yeah, okay, that's Virginia.
There's a DC video up there from.
There you go. Yeah.
The African American History Museum.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one.
Yeah, we do quite a few things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we do that. Yep. There's Girl Scout stuff up there too. Mm-hmm. Baltimore stuff. Yeah. Check us out. Yeah,
Digicast road trip. All that stuff's on there. Check us out on Facebook /Digicast, thedigicast.com. We do have a Twitter for that. I don't remember what the password is. At some point I have to go find that. But yeah, we are on Twitter individually at AwesomeRob029 and
Sherry's Joy.
At Sherry's Joy.
Also, while you're at it, don't forget to check out Scarcasm Live. Mm-hmm. Thanks to them. They host a lot of our podcasts and so check them out too. Great gaming type of podcast. So if you're into that, or if you're not and you just want to check them out, Scarcasm Live. Yeah, it's like gaming and what do they call it, IRL stuff. Yeah, social things. Yeah, maybe your pop culture, entertainment. There you go. There you go. Yep. Yep. So that'll do it for episode 2 of the Tampa Experience. We'll pick this up at a later date. Part 3 will start off after the aquarium, and then go from there. And anything else that's important to add. Yep. Alrighty. So, on behalf of the Digicast, this is DJ Awesome Rob with my co-host here, Sherry's Joy, and together we make the Digicast. Peace up in the grill. Love the world. TYL. YOLO.